The Singapore Democratic Party launched a sharp critique of the ruling People's Action Party at its first lunchtime rally of the general election campaign on 29 April, with party chief Dr Chee Soon Juan accusing the PAP of failing to live up to its own rhetoric of exceptionalism and clean governance. Speaking to a lunchtime crowd gathered at UOB Plaza, Dr Chee opened his speech by contrasting the current crop of PAP leaders with the party's founding generation. While the first generation of ministers from the People's Action Party were capable and competent, the quality of present ministers leaves very much to be desired, he declared. Dr Chee, who is contesting Sembawang West single-member constituency against PAP's Po Lee San, devoted much of his speech to citing what he described as a litany of missteps and scandals that have unfolded under the current government. These included persistent MRT breakdowns that plagued the public transport system in recent years, the government's use of trace-together data for police investigations, despite earlier assurances to the contrary, and the unauthorized disclosure of NRIC numbers on a government business portal. He also referenced the highly publicized Ridout Road controversy, where two ministers rented state-owned colonial bungalows under opaque arrangements, as well as the delayed disclosure of extramarital affairs involving PAP members of parliament, including then Speaker Tan Chuan Jin. The PAP is most certainly not the exceptional party that it says that it is, said Dr Chee. And if you are not exceptional, then be humble. Don't demand exceptional salaries. Acknowledge and accept the fact that the PAP needs meaningful opposition in Parliament to govern Singapore better. A recurring theme in opposition parties' campaigns, the issue of high ministerial salaries also came under fire during the rally. Dr Chee questioned the rationale behind the multi-million-dollar remuneration packages for ministers, arguing that it was neither a deterrent against corruption nor a guarantee of moral integrity. We don't pay them exorbitant salaries to not be corrupt, he said. We elect our leaders based on their moral rectitude. Anything less, and we are better off without them. He also criticized the reasoning offered by some PAP leaders that high pay is needed to prevent corruption. We must educate our ministers that corruption is bad, and that if they are caught, there are consequences, period, he said. Dr Chee also cast doubt on the credibility of Prime Minister Lawrence Wong's leadership, criticizing the decision to call an election just 1 month after the release of the Electoral Boundaries Review Committee report. I realized Prime Minister Lawrence Wong is not off to a promising start and is cut from the very same old PAP cloth, he said. He further questioned the PAP's assertions that losing key ministers would put the country at risk, framing this as an attempt to instill fear among voters. Surely amongst the group, you're able to, from within your ranks, pull out some of your members and MPs and form a cabinet, Dr Chee said in remarks to the media after the rally. That's what democracy is about. That's what a parliamentary system is about. Throughout his speech, Dr Chee urged voters not to provide blind support to the ruling party. He warned that such loyalty fosters complacency and ignores mounting governance issues. Blind faith allows society into thinking that things are fine when they are clearly not, and worse, that there is no alternative to the PAP, he said. Let us lead not with fear, but with faith in our people. SDP candidate Dr James Gomez, speaking after Dr Chee, also urged voters to reject what he described as the PAP's fearmongering. They tell you that if you vote for the opposition, Singapore will collapse. That if you bring in anyone other than the PAP to Parliament, Singapore's success story will crumble, said Dr Gomez, who is contesting marshalling UTGRC. He responded directly to recent comments by Senior Minister Lee Hsien Loong, who said losing key ministers could place Singapore in quite a lot of trouble. Such logic is unbelievable, but I can understand it comes from the PAP's desperation. After all, losing ministers will be a problem for the PA, but not for us Singaporeans, said Dr Gomez. Dr Gomez also took aim at Prime Minister Lawrence Wong's remarks that more opposition seats would weaken the PAP team. He countered that true democratic governance thrives on accountability and scrutiny. If Lawrence Wong says that his team can only function when given unchecked power, then the problem is not with us Singaporeans, but with the PAP that fears scrutiny, said Dr Gomez. When you vote for a strong opposition, you are not hurting Singapore. You are only threatening the PAP's desire for total control. SDP Chairman Dr Paul Tambia added his voice to the call for greater political competition. Contesting Bukit Panjang SMC against the PAP's Liang Enghua, Dr. Tambia argued that excellence is forged in competition, not in monopoly. He recalled his postgraduate training in the United States, where he was forced to compete with some of the best minds in the world. Had I remained in the comfort of Singapore, I would just be a big fish in a small pond at best, he said. Drawing an analogy with sport, he added, the best football teams in the world get better by playing against teams which are stronger than them, not by shifting the goalposts, shortening the training periods for their opponent, or committing professional fouls. Dr. Tambia also responded to Health Minister Ong Ye Kung's dismissal of SDP's proposals, who said the party had not a snowball's chance of contributing to a thriving Singapore. The SDP's proposals will be like a snowball in Greenland, gaining momentum and building up for real change in Singapore, he said. Dr. Tambia also raised concerns over what he described as a lingering climate of fear. He referred to an interview in the Straits Times with a young rally attendee who said her father had warned her against revealing her name because he worked in a government-linked organization. Calling this disturbing, Dr. Tambia urged Minister in charge of the public service Chan Chun Sing to publicly reassure Singaporeans that their votes would be free from surveillance or retaliation. No matter whether they work in the civil service, the military, the police, or any other government organization, their loyalty is to the government and people of Singapore, regardless of whoever is in power, said Dr. Tambia. The lunchtime rally marked the sixth campaign event by the SDP in as many days. The party is fielding 11 candidates in 4 constituencies: Bukit Panjang SMC, Marsiling Utara GRC, Sembawang GRC, and Sembawang West SMC. Closing the rally, Dr. Chee urged voters to be bold, be brave, be on the right side of history.